And what a lot of people tend to do is once gold starts moving and going like a missile, like a rocket, yeah, it's going to the moon. They buy at these high prices. That's when the emotions kick in. The FOMO, the fear of missing out. And then what happens? You end up in a big loss. If you watched last week's video, you saw the thumbnail said, "Don't buy gold." And this week's thumbnail says, "Buy gold at what price?" So it might seem like a contradiction in terms, but not at all. If you watched all of last week's video, what you would have understood is that I meant don't buy gold at high prices. Don't chase the candles. Don't FOMO. Yes, gold is probably going to the moon, but it's not going to do it in one day. And what a lot of people tend to do is once gold starts moving and going like a missile, like a rocket, yeah, it's going to the moon. They buy at these high prices. That's when the emotions kick in. The FOMO, the fear of missing out. And then what happens? You end up in a big loss. Or, but just a few days later, it's going to the moon again. And you start buying at these high prices. What happens? You end up in a big loss. And just last Friday, during the London session, oh, it's going to the moon again. And then what happens? You buy at these high prices, chasing the candles, and then it falls down again, and then you're in another big loss. So when the heck should you buy gold? Obviously, it's buy the dips. Okay, yes, gold is going to higher prices. There's no question about it. Nobody would doubt that at all. Gold is going to higher prices. But when is the best time to get in? Well, that's what we're going to look at in this video. So let's get started. And of course, before we get started, just remember that I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA, and this video is only for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm merely sharing my opinion. There's no guarantee of gains or losses on investments. And with that said, let's jump over and have a look at the high impact news that's coming out this week. And do you think we're going to have a normal week this week? No chance of that. Look at this. I can't even get everything on one page. I have to scroll up and down. But there are a few key items that you need to be aware of. First of all, on Tuesday morning, that will be the Australian economy. They will be releasing the cash rate, the interest rate, the bank rate, overnight rate. It's all the same thing. And the Australian Central Bank is expected to lower the interest rate by 25 basis points. And anytime the central bank lowers or raises the interest rate, that's always a very high impact news item. So be aware of that one on the Australian dollar. And then on Wednesday, oh my goodness, watch out for this one. There's no time given yet, but it's on Wednesday for the President Trump will be speaking in the U.S., and we know, there's no question about it, that the markets will rattle. All right, he will shake things up. So be aware of that one. And then again on Wednesday also is the New Zealand Central Bank will announce that they are going to lower the interest rate by 50 basis points. That's a big jump. So expect to see a lot of volatility with the New Zealand dollar, the US dollar, New Zealand dollar pair. And then on Thursday, we have the FOMC meeting minutes. And that's at 2 a.m. Thursday, Southeast Asia time. And then on Friday, a lot of general high impact items with the euro, the pound, the Canadian, and the US dollar. So a full calendar this week. It's going to be a very volatile week, nothing normal about it at all. So just be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. And now looking at last week's trade setups, this is a screen that I shared with you. We had an entry price on gold, a buy limit at 28.15. And as you can see on Monday, that never even came close to the pending order. So that trade did not execute. All right, it just took off on Monday, and Tuesday went to another all-time high. We've seen about 6 or 7 all-time highs this year. Then it made a big drop, then another move up, and then another big drop during the week. So very roller coaster week for gold. And then let's look at the Euro US, what I had for you on that one. That one turned out to be a very, very good trade. The buy limit was 1.0304. That did open, came down a little bit, then took off again. It was a lot of up and down movement, but we finished up the week with 107 pips on the Euro US. And then the odd US, remember on the odd US and the New Zealand US, I had all time frames neutral. So there was no trade on the odd US or the New Zealand US, although they did move very well. Now we have some sense of what the direction is going to be, so I do have some pending orders for you in just a few moments. With the pound US, that was a buy limit, executed very well on Monday, and then went up, came back down to our support level, and then had a great ride throughout the week for a total of 261 pips on the pound US. The USD CAD never came up quite to our pending order. However, if you did go ahead and see the downward movement that started early in the week, you could have capitalized on that one and got a very, very good trade out of that. But that did not open the pending order, which I had at 1.4359. But it does look like the USD CAD is starting to continue its bearish movement. Then the UJ, what a crazy week it was for the UJ. My goodness. All right, it did hit the pending order on Monday, came down into profit for only 36 pips before just doing this rocket move to a higher price and then coming right back down to where it was towards the end of the week. So crazy week for the UJ, but if you got in and out very quick, you could have got 36 pips on that one. And now let's go over and look at the pending orders that I have in place for you. And before I do that, I always, of course, like to look at the indexes. As you know, we'll have a look at the DXY first. And somebody was telling me that they thought last week, I was speaking with some traders, and they said, yeah, the US dollar is going to start to move up. And that was, I believe that was the end of last week. And then I said, oh yeah, okay. Well, I have been bearish on the US dollar for several weeks, and I expect to see continuing weakness in the US dollar. So as the week started out, it looked like the US dollar is not doing very well. Okay, and as I have said for several weeks, it is continuing its decline, and I expect to see a continuing weakness in the US dollar. That's the DXY, the US dollar compared with 6 major currencies. And then if you look at the JPY basket, oh, what a crazy week that was. My goodness, what was going on? You know, we've been seeing some strengthening of the Japanese yen, and then during last week, it just started to fall down. And it came back to where it was the previous week, but now it looks like it may start to recover. It's just doing a consolidation at the moment, but I do expect to see continuing strengthening of the Japanese yen, and that's why I am bearish on the USD JPY. So let's go up and have a look at gold first of all and see what I have in place for this upcoming week. And yes, I have a buy limit. A good price to buy gold will be at 28.70. That is a major support level. It was a very strong resistance, and then it became support, and it has bounced just a little bit below that earlier in the week. Midweek on Wednesday came down to 28.63, and then rocketed up to what we have here now, a double top. All right, it tried to break above 29.40 but couldn't. Tried again on Friday but couldn't, and then fell down dramatically really hard in the Friday US session. So we might see a continuing decline in gold just briefly, I think, as the Asian Pacific market opens, and maybe bounce off of this strong support level at 28.70. If it does a hard fall during Monday, then we might see it go down to 28.50 would be our next main support level, 28.50. But I'm expecting it really to bounce off of 28.70, a very, very strong support level, before continuing to higher prices and try and break through that 29.40 again. Then with the Euro US, once again, the major pairs look like they're getting back to normal. We're starting to see some clear direction in the major pairs after these nonsensical moves that we saw a couple of weeks ago. Now I am bullish on all of the major pairs, so with the Euro US I have a buy limit, let it drop down to our previous support level at 1.0460. And then with the odd US, also bullish on that one with the buy limit with the entry price at 0.6320, let it come down to our support level, just a slight pullback, a retracement. And then the New Zealand US, also a buy limit with the entry price at 0.5695. The pound US, as it continues its bullish run, with the entry price at 1.2540, a buy limit at our previous support level here. It was resistance, is now support, 1.2540, a buy limit on the pound US. And as we see the USD CAD continuing its decline, I've got two possible entry points for that one. The first one is this first level of support here at 1.4212. However, it could possibly retrace and pull back to a major support level of 1.4255. So use your personal discretion on that. 1.4212 is my first pending order, and then 1.4255 the second pending order. And then the UJ, well, a sell limit, of course. Okay, I continue to be bearish on the UJ, seeing weakening of the US dollar, strengthening of the Japanese yen. We had some craziness here during the week. Don't know what this was about. Just went up like a rocket, then fell down like a brick, and then got back to pretty much where it was in the start of the week. So I am still bearish on the UJ, expect to see lower prices. Let it pull back a little bit to our resistance area here. Resistance became support, so that's 152.666. Okay guys, that is a wrap for this week. But before I go, just want to remind everyone, maybe you found this YouTube channel by accident and you are new to trading and you'd like to find out what trading is about. I do offer a free Forex trading course for beginners, and all you have to do is contact me at rickrayfx on Telegram. It's absolutely free, no obligation. That's about 10 video tutorials, and it will help you to set up the foundation to give you an idea of whether or not Forex trading is a good fit for you or not. So let me know in the comments below whether or not you are trading gold, whether or not you think my entry price is a good entry price, what you're expecting gold to be doing in the near future. I'd love to hear from you. So until we meet next time, I wish you all the best with your trading. I hope you have a great week wherever you are in the world. Don't forget, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. See you in the next video.